Hello, this is Kriya with Game Domain, and these are the top 5 Luigi's Mansion 3 theories. Number 1. Luigi is dead. In an interesting, somewhat lengthy video game forum, there circulates a fan theory that Luigi, the main protagonist in Luigi's Mansion games, is actually dead. This is one of the most gruesome theories currently out there, as it implies that the player is controlling either Luigi's corpse or his ghost. Neither one is particularly pleasant to think about. This theory originates from a story on creepypasta.com called I Hate You, which describes Luigi attacking Mario in a fit of jealousy for always being the hero. However, during the attack, Luigi ends up dying instead of his brother. A little counterintuitive, but sure. Everyone knows that creepypasta is creepy purely because the stories are spawned by the imagination of the author. Do you guys remember that SpongeBob hoax where in a lost episode, Squidward ends up killing himself? It was legitimately terrifying. Thus, we see the backbone for the fan theory. The author outlines what they believe is evidence for Luigi's death. Some of this evidence includes Super Mario 2 taking place during the Mario Brothers' infancy. Is this because Luigi ends up dying shortly after the first game? An obscure L-shaped plaque in a fountain in Super Mario 64, supposedly representing the absence of Luigi's presence in that game, as well as his absence in Super Mario Sunshine. This fan theory is essentially all speculation. Nevertheless, it's interesting. It would be very creepy indeed for the green plumber to be dead the whole time with no one the wiser. There is another theory on why Luigi is dead. Is it just me, or are players really trying to kill off Luigi themselves? During the first Luigi's Mansion, lightning strikes in the attic just as Luigi answers a mysterious ringing phone. The lightning illuminates Luigi's shadow, except not really. The shadow is not of Luigi's living body, but of a dead, hanging Luigi swinging from the rafters. Fans speculate that Luigi must have committed suicide during the game, as the phone only starts ringing after Luigi blacks out after a boss fight. Was it really a fainting spell? Or did Luigi straight up die somehow? You tell me. Number 2. The game takes place in a hotel. This fan theory isn't as dark as the first. On this forum, fans theorize that the game takes place in a hotel, and then proceed to list all of the things that are supposed to point us towards that conclusion. Some of these clues include luggage with Mario's face on it being stashed inside a bedroom, a hallway with a literal cleaning cart in it, a dining room better suited for a restaurant than a mansion, and other smaller signs that the fan apparently notices. Number 3. The posters in the lobby represent the soulless bodies of Toad, Peach, and Mario. This fan theory isn't too spectacularly intricate. However, this one fan brings up the time in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate where Luigi's soul was separated from his body. This in general was taken to mean that he was a complete goner, but Nintendo issued a statement shortly after which said, Luigi is okay. Yeah. Convincing. This fan on Reddit suggests that the ghosts in Luigi's Mansion 3 lured Luigi, along with Toad, Peach, and Mario, there, wherever the game takes place, in order to do the same thing. Otherwise, why else would Luigi cover his mouth in horror? It might be because his friends' bodies are on the ground, still and lifeless, but somehow magically okay when it really comes down to it, just like Luigi was in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 4. Luigi's Mansion 3 is chronically the last game in the Mario storyline. This theory seems to be quite popular on the internet. As there is no official Mario canon, Nintendo leaves a lot of room for conjecture, and many fans seem to have taken clues and dialogue from previous games to support the idea that Luigi's Mansion 3 will be the ending chapter for Mario and Luigi. In the original Luigi's Mansion game, Luigi encounters Madame Clairvoya, who apparently sees Bowser alive and well. She says, What is this? Bowser? How can this be? I see the hideous form of Bowser. Is Bowser somewhere in this mansion? I cannot believe it. And yet, I see it. I thought that Mario had soundly defeated Bowser. Has King Boo somehow revived Bowser? This could be horrible. Well, for you. Then, later on in the game, when Luigi enters King Boo's bedroom, Luigi sees King Boo talking to Mario's poster. He says, I remember how much trouble you've caused me in the past. But how? If this is technically King Boo's first appearance in the series, Which leads me into the last theory. Number 5. King Boo is Bowser. This theory is nicely detailed and mentions a number of games in the Mario franchise. Basically, what the theory sums up is this. Bowser, in the beginning of the franchise, was your basic cartoony villain. He captured Peach a lot and annoyed Mario at every chance he got, but in the later games, he got a little out of control. After Luigi's Mansion, Bowser in the Mario games offer a much darker personality than we're used to seeing from him. Instead of merely kidnapping Peach, he at one point tries to marry her. And instead of just trying to keep Mario away from his nefarious plans, Bowser attempts to kill him. Like for realsies this time. Now this sudden personality shift could be due to King Boo reanimating Bowser's corpse. Ugh, gross. But this also offers a reason as to why Bowser keeps coming back even though Mario supposedly defeats him, for good, beforehand. He's a ghost. Ghosts can't die. Technically, King Boo could reanimate Bowser for as long as he wanted to. The fact that he can't experience a true death would only give him more reason to become increasingly violent as time passes. Why not? He has all the time in the world. With this theory being as detailed as it is, the author provides more food for thought on how Bowser survives being killed over and over again. In New Super Mario Bros., Bowser falls into lava, which would kill literally anyone, probably Thanos too. And yet, Bowser reappears afterwards, except it's just his skeleton, and his new name is Dry Bowser. Okay. But this would be possible if King Boo was the one animating the skeleton. It makes more sense than Bowser not needing his skin to operate like a normal living villain. Otherwise, why have skin at all, am I right? In Super Mario 3D World, Bowser kidnaps the 7 Sprixie princesses instead of Peach. Why? Because Sprixies can destroy ghosts. Why else would Bowser care about them at all? What's the point? At this point, the King Boo theory is the only thing that makes sense here. Of course, there's also the alternative, which is that King Boo is actually Bowser's ghost. This doesn't change much in the scheme of things, except it invalidates King Boo's existence up until Luigi's Mansion. This would explain why Bowser is still infatuated with Peach in the later games, instead of King Boo in Bowser's body trying to marry her specifically just to piss off Mario. Either way, it's an interesting concept and provides a lot of evidence for why the two villains keep finding their way back to each other. Aw, how cute.